Hi there everybody, Boyd here with you again. Well, it's Mad Max Mania on this video. If you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, I showed you a couple of Mad Max diecast cars that I got from Greenlight. And in that video I talked about hopefully at Christmas time I was going to be getting kind of a dream come true for me. These, the AutoArt version of this car in 1/18 scale. And I was really hoping my wife would get it for me. And she really surprised me big time this year. I didn't get just my usual socks and shirts and stuff. And she not only wound up getting me the tune version, which I was hoping to get, that I talked about, but I also got the first release of the AutoArt Interceptor. And this is the Road Warrior version, which has, the way we saw it in the second film, where it was kind of more of a desert car with the huge gas tanks and the altered suspension where it was a little higher off the ground. It had a different rear wheel on it, and the front lower bumper was missing for extra ground clearance. And it comes with a ton of really cool accessories. You've got Dog here, this nice little resin figure of the Australian healer that Max had with him in the film. Doesn't have a name, he just called it Dog. And some really cool stuff like this spare tire with a chain on it, a carton of Dinky D dog food, these little jerry cans here, and I'll open up the door here for you, and you can see it even comes with some cans of Dinky D dog food there on Dog's little seat that he sat on. Now, the big difference between these two cars is that you can see the original here is what they call the tune version, and it's supposed to appear the way the car was brand new when they first put it together, and Max sees it in the mechanic's garage. And so it doesn't even have the little badge on the side of it. It doesn't have the MFP license plate on the back. I've gone ahead and ordered a set of decals for that, for the badges on the side and the one at the rear from an Australian seller. He does a really nice job on those. It'll be a couple of weeks before they get here. But they look really nice compared to some of the other ones that I've seen out there. A lot of people have already put them on theirs, and they look great. And, of course, the desert version here didn't have that. The badges were gone. The MFP plate was gone, and the little blue beacon inside the dash there that he used to use was gone. But all that's here on the other car. We'll kind of take a look at them one at a time here, and I'm going to talk about my plan. I'm going to be doing some modifying to these. I've already done a little bit of work on this one where I've installed some lighting, and I'll show you that just a little bit. But I'm going to do quite a bit of work to this one over here because AutoArt released a couple of versions of this. They released the first one, which is this one here, which is pretty cool because it's the first release. They called it the Millennial Edition. You can see the box art over here where it's got some pictures of the car, and it comes with these accessories. You can see you get the spare tire, the gas cans, Dog, and the Dinky D and all that. The later releases don't come with Dog, so that's pretty cool that you get this in the original. They had also what they call a dirty version, which has, the dirt and the grime all over it. In my opinion, they overdid that a little bit, and, they basically just sprayed the entire car with kind of a brown and tan, paint of some kind with an airbrush. And the car was really dirty in the second film. It had like that kind of Australian red clay all over it and a bunch of dust and stuff. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my own weathering on this. The reason why is that I've got the perfectly clean version over here, and once I get the MFP badges on it, or the license plate and the maintain right badges on the sides, it'll look like it, like I wanted it to look, pretty much like it does in the main part of the first movie, Mad Max. So I'll have that one. And so this one over here, I wanted to dirty it up and make it look like it did in the Road Warrior. Now, they do offer the dirty version of this, but the prices on that one have gone completely insane. That model now is up around $1,000 if you can even find one. And so I'm going to make my own. I'm going to do it, and this way I can do my own sort of, my own level of weathering on that and get it just right the way I like it. If you look at the film itself, they used two different cars for the film. One that they saved for the end when they did the rollover scene where the car gets destroyed, and the one for the hero shots. And you can see that there was a different level of weathering on each car. One of them was weathered a whole lot more than the other. So I'm going to kind of go for a happy medium in between the two. So it means in order to do that, I've got to completely take the car apart because I'm going to do some weathering on the interior. I'm going to add some more detail to the interior of this. Looking at some screenshots from the movie, there's some stuff that I saw. It's got this really cool kind of shelf in the back. I'll stick my flashlight in here and kind of light this up if you guys can see it. There's a shelf in the back, and all that detail is there. You can see we've got dog's seat there with a couple cans of Dinky D. There's this doll head that was attached to the dash for whatever reason. There's an extra ignition coil. He's got the fuel tank pressure unit there with the blinking red light, the shifter knob and all that. So, you know, a lot of the details there, but there's some little things. Like, for one thing, they've got this doll head in here upside down, and I don't know why they have it that way. I'll show you guys a screenshot of that a little bit later that I found of what the doll head actually looks like. And it was actually facing upward, and it has some real hair on it. So I'm going to take a little bit of my fiber, make some real hair and put on it, and I'm going to switch it around so it's facing up. And then there were a couple little extra brackets here on the dash that were there. I'm going to dirty it up quite a bit on the inside, and then of course all the way around on the outside. I've already done a little bit of work. These jerry cans of gas were just plain black when I got it, and I just kind of painted them olive drab like they were in the movie, and then just did some weathering on them. I'm going to be doing some overall weathering and stuff on the car. The detail on this thing's amazing. I mean, right down to the underneath of it here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's you know, booby trap bomb underneath it that Max had, that it, you know, if anybody touched the fuel tanks, it would blow up, and complete with his extra machete that he had strapped down underneath of it. I'll kind of spin it around here and show you that on the driver's side, there's an extra knife, machete. He's got this kind of, you know, ammunition pouches or whatever they are. I mean, all that detail is all there. And the car has a complete roll cage in it that it didn't in the original film, just like it does in the Road Warrior. The zoomy pipes here are different. They're more straight. It has different rims on the back. Kind of hard to see in the low light here. These black ones don't show up too well, but the vehicles had, the original car had these Sunraysia rims all the way around, and you can see that the zoomy pipes on the first car were more flared at the top, and on the Road Warrior version they were just kind of these more straight pipes. No explanation why those got changed, but also these wheels in the back were, you know, larger diameter, and they were more of a turbine style and quite a bit taller than what the originals were. So he was going for ground clearance for driving off-road. You can see that the lower part of the Monza bumper has been removed too for more ground clearance. And then of course the scene where he rams the Ford Landau at the beginning in the chase scene and knocks that whole part off, you know, it made the car look a lot different. Now what they call the Ultimate Edition, that little part here is removable, and it's got a couple of magnets that hold it in place, so you can display it like this or with the part removed. So what I'm going to try to do when I take this apart is I'm going to try to get this off of here and rig up my own little setup where I can have that either on or off. So we'll try to figure that out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm really excited to work on these. It's really going to be fun. I'm a huge Mad Max fan, and I've wanted to have these for a really long time. We'll show you the detail here on the Tune version. Now this thing is gorgeous. Like I said, the main difference between this one and the green light that I showed you earlier is the paint job. The paint job on this car is like basically mirror smooth on both of these. It's just totally flawless. So AutoArt did a really good job on that. The paint job on the green light car is not too bad, but it has, you know, if you kind of look at it close, you can see it has a little bit of that orange skin texture to it a little bit. Those little microscopic dimples in it. You could probably spend some time with some polishing compound. I'm sure this is just a single stage enamel, and you could probably do some buffing on this thing and get it to look a little bit better. The other big difference is that you know, on these cars, everything opens up. You've got the hood that opens, and you've got all the detail in there. Let me get my flashlight on this one here again, of the engine bay, and you know, you can see it's just gorgeous. Every little hose and all the spark plug wires. It even has real, like, hood hinges that a real car has with springs on them and everything. You can see that's just awesome. The trunk opens up as well. And, you know, the green light over here, nothing opens except the doors. They've even got the little wire mesh inside the hood scoops there like it should have. So what I did is I did some lighting on this one. You remember how the green light lit up with the flashing blue beacon and the headlights? So I did the same thing to this one. Let me get it turned on. You can see what I did here is the blue beacon on this other one flashes kind of fast. So I put a slower blinking blue LED in that. It was quite a bit of work to get that in there, actually, because the little beacon in there had a solid piece of chrome like on the inside of it, and it was all glued together. So I had to, take this whole thing apart and get in there with my Dremel tool and go in from the bottom and grind it all out until the top separated. Then I had to grind out all the chrome part that was inside the blue lens without wrecking it, so I could get an SMD in there. It's a 0805 blue SMD that blinks. And then up here I did the headlights. Now on this one, I used warm white LEDs, which I think look a lot better than these bright white. I think these are 5mm LEDs that are in this one. And looking at the film, from the original film, there's a couple shots where the lights are on, and this looks a lot closer to it, where you can see, the lights are kind of, they're not so bright where you can see that they're set back in there a little bit like they should be. And the cars from the 70s, had a more of a warm white kind of lighting on there. And then I've also got the tail lights lit, if I can get around to the back of it here. So I've got the 9-volt battery in the trunk. That way you don't have to take screws out of it to take it apart or anything. It just fits in there really nice. And there's not much detail in the trunk anyway, so we don't really worry about, ruining any of that. It all worked out really good. Now this car actually has real carpet flocking in it. And, the overhead radio in there is all detailed really nice. Everything is really nice in these. So the work's pretty much done on this one, except for adding the decals. When they get here, I'll come back and show you how that turned out. So we'll go ahead and kill the power on this one now. Both of these, if I can find the switch down here. So my plan is starting in the next video update on this, I'm going to start taking this apart, and I'm going to start working on it. So like I said, I've got to do everything on the interior, and then I've got to start doing weathering on the outside and everything. And I'm going to work on this front end to see if I can get it where I can have it either on or off. We'll just see how that works out. I'm hoping it'll work out, but we get a chance to have a little bit of fun. I love doing weathering, and it just adds a lot more realism to your models and everything. And my wife got such a great deal on these cars. I don't really feel like I'm losing too much by changing this from being original. I never plan on selling it anyway. I might go ahead and sell the green light version at some point. So if any of you guys are out there that are interested in getting this from me, you can email me at info@trekworks.net, and we'll talk about that. I'm not in a big hurry to sell it, but since I've already got both of these, I really don't need that one. But we'll see. So that's the plan, you guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing these. This is just really cool. Like I said, I'm going to be adding some interior stuff. He had some blankets in there. He had some rope. He had some a couple of water jugs. He had like a little pail that hung on the side, on a little hanger. So I'm going to try to create that and a few other little things and just bring up the interior detail a little bit to make it more accurate. Just having some fun. So I hope you guys will tune in and check it out. I'm thinking of actually starting another YouTube channel that's strictly Mad Max oriented. It doesn't really matter to me, how big the channel or anything gets. I'm just going to have some fun with it, because I know over here on the TrekWorks channel, this is really not what you guys mostly come here to see. But I'm going to be doing a lot of collecting of Mad Max over the next couple of years. There's a bunch of other stuff that I want to get. Some of the smaller cars, some of the more specialty stuff, that they have. Some of the different vehicles from some of the different movies that are out there. So there's a lot of people out there on YouTube that are interested in this. So I'm just going to probably create another little channel for that and just update my Mad Max stuff over there in the future. But hopefully you guys will enjoy it anyway. So we'll be back here in a couple days. I'll be working on this in between working on the big Enterprise. Things are coming along really nice on that. But updates are going to be coming on that regular here, because in the next couple of weeks I want to have that one all done and get that off to my client, Tim. So it's been really cool to show you this stuff, guys, and it was a great Christmas. My wife is just wonderful, and I'm going to have to get her something really, really nice next year for Christmas to make up for it. So we'll see you next time, everybody. Take care, and happy modeling, everyone.